All right, so that brings us to determiners, which is a specific kind of adjective that people sometimes make mistakes with. And what determiners do is they tell you how many, how much, or which one, or who this noun belongs to. Okay, so just to kind of show you what what determiners are, here's a sentence. After dinner I had cake. Now this sentence doesn't currently have any adjectives in it, but I could add a word in front of cake to tell you how much cake I had or who the cake belonged to. So I could say after dinner I had my cake. Now that word my is an example of a determiner because it's telling you who the cake belonged to. I could also say after dinner I had your cake, or after dinner I had some cake, or after dinner I had a lot of cake, or after dinner I had the cake. But I don't need any of those words. I can just say after dinner I had cake. Now, a sentence like this, they bought house, most people would notice right away that the word house doesn't sound right here. You feel like you need something in front of that word house. And the reason is that house is a different kind of a noun than cake. And what we call this is a singular count noun. You can count the number of houses on a street, just like you can count the number of cars in the driveway, the number of chairs in a room. Whereas cake, you can count individual cakes, but the cake itself as a substance is not necessarily countable until you chop it up into pieces. It's the same with other substances like water or air or sand or grass. We consider them as just sort of like a giant mass of something. And when something is countable, it actually requires a determiner if it is singular. So you can't just say they bought house. You have to say they bought a house. And that would be a determiner. Or they bought my house. Or they bought this house. Or they bought the house. So that's one issue that people have with determiners, is they sometimes forget to put a determiner in front of a singular count noun. But if it is a singular count noun, you have to always have something there. Now, another issue that people have with determiners is that they sometimes mix up the difference between a and the. And there's a difference here. When you talk about a house, what you're talking about is one of any possible nouns. So they bought a house means they bought one of any possible houses. Whereas if you say they bought the house, that refers to one specific noun. So what you're saying there is that you already know which house I'm talking about. So when I say they bought the house, you know which specific house that is. So that brings us to our second index card. And this index card is about count nouns. So what you want to do is you want to make sure singular count nouns are preceded by the correct determiners, and make sure plural count nouns have the correct ending, which is usually S. So in this example, I bought new car. What's missing there? I bought a new car, or my new car, or the new car. But in this sentence, I finally found right car. You can't say a right car, because a right car is a specific car. You'd have to say I finally found the right car. And then finally, it is one of the best car I've ever owned. In this case, the word car needs an S, because one of means it's more than one.